Annie, a lawyer, is getting her daughters ready to take them to school while arguing with Peter, her husband, who complains that she neglects their daughters, reminding her that their son will arrive the next day to live with them. At night, while reading a story to her daughters, one of them asks why their father's son never lived with them, to which she responds that Gustav lives with his mother. The next day, Gustavo Peter arrives with his son at the house, introducing him to Annie, who welcomes him. His sisters give him several gifts, including a wooden keychain. Later, Annie goes to talk to her sister Lena, telling her that her husband's son now lives with them because he was expelled from school and his mother was going to put him in a boarding school. But in the end, she didn't. When she gets home, she sees the wooden keychain that her daughters gave to Gustav lying on the floor. Upon entering, she sees that Gustav and his father are arguing, with his father telling him that he is a minor and must live there with them, although Gustav wants to return to Sweden with his mother, leaving the house angrily and slamming the door. At night, Peter tells Annie that it was a bad idea to bring his son there, that he should have put him in a boarding school, telling Annie that the boy is troubled and still needs to adapt, as he has only been with them for 2 days. The next day, when Annie arrives home from work, she sees that the door is open and no one is in the house. When she goes upstairs, she sees that someone has robbed them, as the jewelry, watches, and bags are gone. Calling her husband, Gustav arrives at that moment, and Annie asks him to check his room and his things, after which she calls the police. But later on, when Annie goes to do the laundry, she discovers the wooden keychain of Gustav that she had previously put in her pants. Knowing it was him, she tells him she found his keychain, and when Gustav takes it, Annie tells him she found it at the entrance a few days ago. She put it to the entrance in one of the stolen bags, and now the keychain appeared in his pants. Gustav says he doesn't know what she's talking about, and she asks him where the stolen things are, but he doesn't respond, saying she will explain it to his father and the police later. Gustav tells her to do whatever she wants, as he doesn't care. But she, being a lawyer, warns him he could end up in jail since he's already been detained, and it will be worse if he goes back, giving Annie an option to join the family and get along with them. From that day on, Gustav gets along better with them, even playing with his sisters. One night, Gustav brings a girl to the house, introducing her to Annie, telling the young woman that Annie is his stepmother, after which he says they won't make any noise. And then they go to the room. But while Annie is working, she hears them doing things, the young girl moaning a lot, making it impossible for Annie to continue working. When she goes to the bedroom, Annie looks at herself in the mirror while listening to her stepson moaning with the young girl. She then goes to find Peter, who is busy working, asking Anya to stop working and go to bed with her, getting on top of him and kissing him as they also engage in intimate activities. The next day, Annie goes to the lake with her daughters and Gustav. They swim while she reads a book, Gustav asking her to swim with them, and although she says she doesn't feel like it, she ends up swimming. Gustav starts splashing water at his stepmother, provoking her. She splashes water back, and they play together. One day they have a family meal. Lena and her husband attend. Annie feels bored with the atmosphere. She starts dancing and drinking. Peter doesn't want to dance with her. At night, Gustav tells Annie he's going to buy cigarettes, asking if she wants to go with him. She agrees because she's bored of being there. They go to a bar and have some beers. Annie asks Gustav about his girlfriend Amanda, and Gustav tells her that they are doing well. Then he asks if she is okay with her father, to which Annie responds that her father is a good man, but not as active as Gustav. Gustav laughing, she kissing him. At that moment, Gustav receives a call from Amanda, who tells him to have fun as they will see each other at home. When Annie gets home, Peter asks where she was, as she left him alone with the guests. She says she went for a walk. He complains that she disappears, as she always neglects everything. Then he leaves angry. That night, Annie wakes up, seeing her husband is not there. She gets up and goes to Gustav's room. She enters her stepson's room and closes the door, sits on the bed with him, and Annie starts touching him, doing things to Gustav. Gustav, after which they engage in intimate relations. When they finish, Annie gives him a kiss, then runs back to her room and starts crying. The next day, Annie tells Peter that she bought a laptop for Gustav. Peter gets upset and says she should inform him since it's his son. She responds by saying that she wanted to do something nice for him as his stepmother. Peter is being sincerely thanked for his kindness and thoughtfulness in caring so much about someone's son. That night, Annie did things with her husband again, but during the day, while Peter worked, she did them with her son. One day, while Annie was doing little things with Gustav, she didn't realize Peter had come home. She quickly got dressed as Peter saw their daughters playing with the console and asked where their mother was. Although they don't know it, Annie leaves on time, leaving Gustav in the bathroom, and tells her husband that she arrived early from work, with Peter telling her that he was given the day off. From that moment on, Annie and Gustav stopped doing things in the house and started doing them in the forest, feeling safer from their husband and daughters. One day they held a party for their daughter's birthday, with the girls opening presents and seeing that they were given water guns. Annie offered to go get water, but at that moment Gustav appeared and started kissing her. Annie asked him to stop as they could be seen, but Gustav insisted kissing her right there, and they were seen by her sister Lena, who was at the birthday party. When Annie goes to talk to her sister, Lena tells her she should be ashamed of what she's doing, as he's her stepson, Annie telling her it's nothing, although Lena decides to leave. Annie gets angry with Gustav because, thanks to him, her sister has seen them and maybe someone else too, so she tells him to leave her alone, as what they had is over. After that, Gustav climbs up a tree with his father and Annie asking him to come down. No one understanding what he's doing, and when he's about to come down, he falls from the tree, taking a big hit. Gustav tells his father that he can't feel his legs, asking Peter to call an ambulance. However, Gustav suddenly laughs because it was a joke, which makes Peter angry. He pushes Gustav away when Gustav tries to hug him. Annie tells Gustav that he needs to understand that they can't keep doing this, that it has been fun, but they must stop because she doesn't want to ruin her family, asking him to go back to how things were before. Later, Peter tells Annie that he will go on vacation for a few days with Gustav, as it will be good for him to spend. He also tells her that her sister Lena called, and when Annie asks what she wanted, Peter responds that she wanted to talk to her. Annie is afraid that Lena will tell her husband about her affair with Gustav. Annie goes to her sister's house, asking her not to tell Peter anything, although Lena tells her she will tell him, as her husband doesn't deserve to live in a lie, after which she asks her to leave. While Gustav and Peter are on vacation, Annie is very worried, as she fears Gustav will tell his father what they did. When they return from vacation, Annie sees Gustav talking with Peter, and she approaches to greet them, although Peter only greets his daughters. At night, Peter tells her they need to talk seriously. Peter tells her he knows Gustav had an affair with her because he told him everything, although Annie says that's a lie, as she would never think of having a relationship with his son, after which she leaves offended. Peter says his son told him in detail, although Annie doesn't want to keep listening. She starts packing her bags to leave, calling her husband ungrateful. She insists that she is a good wife and mother, not a pervert. Now she feels deeply disappointed that he doesn't believe her. This situation is making her husband doubt, as he doesn't know who to believe. Peter asks her to calm down, as they will talk things over calmly, although she doesn't want to continue with it, as if he believes his son. It means he doesn't trust her, yelling at her husband with Peter also yelling, as he doesn't know who to believe. Annie manipulates her husband, telling him that his son is playing with him, after which she slaps him, asking him to trust her, as she is the love of his life and would never hurt him with his own son, after which they hug. The next day, Annie and Peter talk to Gustav. Peter tells him that accusing Annie of an affair is very serious, as he can't make things up like that, with his son saying he didn't lie, breaking down in tears as he sees Annie making him out to be a liar, with Peter saying it's over. Annie gets up to calm Gustav, but instead, he spits right in her face. The next day, Gustav says goodbye to his sisters, as he has to go back to his mother. Finally, Anya gets her way without her husband knowing the truth. The family spends Christmas together by giving their daughters a puppy. But one night, while the family is asleep, Gustav returns home shouting at his father. Annie comes out angry, and Gustav asks his father to tell the truth. Because he is ruining his life, he tells me to leave and leave his family alone, after which he leaves. A few days later, Peter receives a call. Paul from the police, informing him that they found Gustav's lifeless body in the middle of the forest. Peter doesn't believe it, but the autopsy states that he died frozen. Annie, feeling very guilty upon hearing the news, decides to tell her husband the truth, telling him that she felt lonely. Although her husband covers her mouth and asks her to be quiet, the movie concludes with the family gathered in the car, making their way to attend Gustav's funeral. If you enjoyed this summary, subscribe for more videos like this.